welcome to Bob's Garden. We're here in the middle of October in the Northwest Hills of Connecticut, and it's time for us to plant our garlic. If you're south of us, say south of New Jersey, Maryland, and those areas, then you'd be planting later in the season, like November in through December. But for us, this is the perfect time to plant garlic. Now, we can plant many different types. We can use the ones that we harvested in July, and these particular ones are from this season, and we have a video on that for you to see, so look that up. And this is a very large type of garlic. It's called an elephant garlic. It's called Montana, a specific variety that we grew. So we can reuse the garlic that we actually harvested, or we can purchase new garlic to plant. And we've got some very interesting types this year. I like to kind of mix it up a little bit. Some from the last year, some from this season, and some new ones. So we've got this Georgian Fire, which is a really fantastic gourmet garlic. Very interesting variety. Now, one thing that you do not want to use is the garlic from the grocery store. First of all, those types, it's a very good type of garlic, but they spray it with a chemical to keep it from sprouting in the store. So these are not treated at all. They're perfect. They're entirely organic. So if you're going to plant garlic, you want to either order it or use the garlic that you have harvested a few months earlier. So the tricky part with this is that we need to plant individual cloves, and we need to get this apart, and we need to have the skin intact so that we can't have any of the garlic showing. So if it's going to look like, if you tear the skin like this, it can't be planted. So we're going to take this into our home and use it in a recipe tonight. And you can also, we only plant the largest of the bulbs here. So use up the large bulbs, and then the small bulbs that are still in there, you just take that and use them in the kitchen. So you can enjoy them now, and we can also plant them, and they'll be ready next summer. So I'm going to turn you over. The tricky part is getting these whole. I'm going to turn you over to my vegetable garden expert.
Hello everyone, Son of Bob here. So the tricky part with these is to get them open without breaking the skin. So what I usually like to do is start with the stem here, and just kind of bend it like that. These have actually been pretty easy to open, and you can see the individual kind of already. You just kind of gently expose them. Again, you don't want to break the skin, because if you break the skin and you plant that, they won't survive the winter. They'll actually rot. So you just kind of take the stem, you kind of bend it, you got to get your fingers in there a little bit, and you just kind of gently pull apart. Just kind of get your thumbs in there and just kind of slowly separate them. You are going to make mistakes. Even after so many years of doing this, you are going to end up breaking some. So you always want to order more than you think you need, because, again, you're going to make mistakes, but mistakes end up in your dinner for tonight. One thing we did earlier, though, is we already composted this. You're going to need some compost for the where you're planting. And then you're also going to need some hay for at the end. So once you actually have some cloves separated, you just kind of gently, and you can just, take some of this off, but you don't want to take the whole thing. And this is exactly what you need. It's intact. You don't see any exposed garlic, and these are ready to plant. So I'm going to get a couple of these ready to go. And again, just gently separate them. So we have our beautiful garlic from the Territorial Seed Company that we ordered online. And I really want to zoom in on the difference here between one that is ready to plant, that's fully got its skin intact, and one that will not survive the winter. See how the clove is exposed? You can see this tan exposure here, and you can see the skin is pulled away. This won't survive the winter, so you do not want to plant this. Also, we have these smaller ones that won't do us any good either. So this is really what you want. So we have our seed spacing and our rows differences here. And you can kind of get an example all the way down of what we do. We also have to make sure that you remember that there is a top and a bottom to garlic. So where the stem is, this pointy end here, that's considered the top. And you'll kind of see this hardened bottom. It's easy to identify. And you want to make sure that when you plant it, that this pointy end that's considered the top is sticking up. So we're going to cover this with dirt, and then we're going to use about 6 inches of shredded hay to protect it for the winter. And you want to make sure that it's shredded hay, not salted hay. Salted hay will ruin your crop. But once we get this covered up, that'll pretty much be it.
Thank you, son of Bob. So we're at 1,100 feet above sea level in this area. So we have to put down a really good amount of our hay here. So we have a good 6 inches, even though it's just half the box. We just planted half this box. And in the spring, this is reserved for our onions. So remember that this part of having room for this, because it's not going to be harvested in our area until first couple weeks in July or late June. So there's a bit of planning in this, but boy, you'll have garlic that is just way better than you can get at the grocery store. It's more like from a farmer's market, and these beautiful bulbs of garlic from the Territorial Seed Company, excellent company to work with. So we are going to really enjoy our harvest. This Georgian Fire is considered a real gourmet type of garlic. It's just really, wow, it's really spicy. But you can eat it raw, and some of this, the Bavarian bulb is really good too to eat raw. But you'll really enjoy this in your recipes. So thank you for watching Bob's Garden, and we'll see you next time. Please share, subscribe, and comment on these videos. And remember, be curious, not judgmental.